Hello everyone, I am SaintInix. Welcome back to the channel. We're playing a planet of mine today. I'm going to do some tips and tricks on this game, kind of like I did for Army Men Strike. I've played it for quite a few hours. I've purchased the full game. It's $5.99. You get all the packs and... Oops, sorry about hitting the microphone there. You get all the animals, you get all the challenges, and it's honestly, it's worth it. For a couple of coffees, you can get a game that's very addictive, simple to get into but hard to master, and it's great for all those 4X lovers out there. Resource management, space exploration, and civilization building, basically. I've made my way to Ascension level 6. I'm playing Nocturians, which are my favorite species. They have the best bonuses in my opinion. They're not I don't they're not the best race, but for my playstyle, they fit my playstyle the best. They have a very low food cost, which is really helpful. They also have a high ascension rate, which is really helpful, and they have a bonus to book generation, which helps in the early to mid game research points. Once you get to late game, the books aren't really useful, but early to mid game, it's very useful to have those bonus books. They also gain a plus 20% productivity bonus on tundra or like permafrost, and they start with the expanded view of the solar system. They get a larger view of the solar system so they can jump to new planets faster. Now, I've managed to take over 3 planets. I'm going to show you one of my tricks here, but first I want to start with the most basic thing. Your first, most basic resource to gather is oil. You need oil to transport your animals to another planet. You also need it for generating plastic, which is used for computer chips. It's also used for colony pods, which I will show you a trick for that in a minute. But oil, look for your oil. Problem, you cannot just jump on any liquid resource. As you can see, this is a sea tile, and it's got 286 liquid resources on it. Most likely, even though it is adjacent to both a forest and a bush, most likely it is a good portion of water there. I can't scan it because it's got a C on top of it, but I can, like, next to this bush, there's only 18 liquid resources. Next to this tree, I've already mined out, or, pulled out with a well, all the liquid resources in this area. I'm actually going to build a mine here. But your first priority is to get your hands on oil. That will help you expand your empire as fast as possible. Get your hands on as much oil as you can. Get the oil first. Even if it's got 999 solid resources, if there's 100 or so oil there, grab it first, and then move, then destroy it and put a mine up. The next tip is pertaining to oil. Don't send more than 1 animal at a time in your ship. Okay? When you go to send an animal to another planet, it costs whatever the oil cost is per animal. So if you double up your ship, then it's going to double your oil cost. And oil is a rare resource. It's hard to get your hands on, especially at the early game. So when you're trying to expand quickly, just send a single animal, especially if it's to another livable planet. This is a barren, like, dead planet. See, it says it's a burnt planet. Or dead. There's also burnt. Where's the burnt one? Oh, well, it's just a dead planet. So you have to wear a space helmet. You can't just build houses. You have to build colony pods. That's where another one of my tips and tricks comes into play. I'm going to show you that one right now so I can help you get expanded as fast as possible. If you are playing the game and you're in a single game sitting, like, this is not like if you start the game, play a little bit, do half of it, and then save the game, go eat dinner, or go to school, or go to work, or go to wherever you got to go, do the things you got to do, and then you come back to the game and finish it. It's not going to work. You have to do this all in one shot, and I will show you exactly how it works. If you're on a barren, dead planet like this, find yourself some good spots to build. Make sure you have at least 100 plastic and 20 glass. 20 or 40 glass, I believe. 20 glass. It's 50 plastic and 10 glass per colony pod. This is a great glitch. It's not supposed to work this way, but it's a great glitch in the game that I don't know when they're going to patch, but it's very helpful for expanding your empire quickly, and especially for using these dead planets as a jump off point to get to the next habitable planet where you can build houses and farms and things. So you start off by building a single colony pod. Okay, we'll get this guy over here. We'll start building the colony pod. We're going to go ahead and speed it up. I've already done 100 turns in this 300 turn thing, the 300 turn free challenge. As you can see, I just built a colony pod. I still only have one possible inhabitant. My housing is still 0. And I have -1 energy because this colony pod requires an energy to work. Right? Here's where the glitch comes in. Pick another spot. Build another colony pod in the same sitting. I mean, you can switch between planets, but you can't leave the game. Don't save and quit and then come back in. It doesn't work that way. Once you save and quit and come back in, it resets itself and it works the way it's supposed to. This is just a weird glitch in the code that for some reason still works past a couple of patches I've gotten. I don't know if they know about this or if they just don't want to patch it out or if it's coming down the road, but watch what happens when this second one gets built. Look at that. I'm still -2 energy. I still don't have the energy to pay for these things, but I have the access to 4 more inhabitants. Bam, right there, 1 of 5. So let's put 1 in the ship because we're about to send him to another planet. Let's build another one to put him on the mine, and then let's get a couple more trying to free this penguin and company guy. They'll probably die before they break it open, but it's more glass, and it's helpful. As long as I don't quit the game, I can come back here and generate more guys. As soon as I quit the game and reload the game, it'll drop back down to 0. It'll say neither one of them is working. But for now, it works. Now we're going to choose a destination. We're going to go to the next planet. Bam. And this is why you only pick 1 animal per planet. It costs 194 oil to send a single animal to that planet. Because of the distance. It's different depending on distance. The longer the distance, the higher the fuel cost. If I were to send 2 there, it's going to cost me 400. Whereas I can just build the colony pods I'm going to need anyway once I get there and start manufacturing people, basically. Start making inhabitants. The 2 colony pods is going to cost me 100 oil and 20 glass, which translates, it's 100 oil and 100 coal and 20 glass because it takes 1 oil and 1 coal to make a plastic. But still, coal is much easier to get because you can generate coal from wood. So as long as you have trees on some of your planets, you can just generate more wood to make more coal to make more plastic as long as you've got a decent amount of oil on your hands. It's much better to do it this way than to try to send 2 creatures to be able to jump to the next planet and leave 1 there to build things. Ooh, I want to land next to that. For sure. See, now I can do this again. I'm going to show you this once again, guys. Go ahead. This is a new planet. I just got here. You guys just saw me get here. We're going to go ahead and build a colony pod here, and we're going to find another good spot to build one that's got low resource count. It's another thing. Build your colony pods, your houses, your factories, foundries, all that stuff on low resource number tiles. Because otherwise you're going to have to, if you run out of resources and you need what's underneath there, you're going to have to destroy it and rebuild later, and it's a hassle. So try to pick your spots for housing and factories and other non-resource producing buildings on low resource number tiles. It's a lot more efficient that way. You waste less resources that way. Oh, the techno moles want to trade. Do I really want to trade 150 oil for 50 steel? Steel ore. You know what? I have a lot of oil. I have 1.2k. So I think that's a good trade because I am very, very low on steel. I'm going to take it. I usually don't take many of these trades. They're most of the time not in your favor. Just really pay attention to that. Because not only that, but you're giving them a resource that they can use, which means they can possibly mess with your stuff. Anyway, it happened once again, folks. 2 colony pods. Now I can make more inhabitants. So I'm going to go ahead and get this uranium, plutonium, radioactiveness. I'm going to go ahead and generate a bunch of dudes so I can get this stuff. Now, technically, I don't need this anymore. I've discovered every single planet other than the one that my enemy has, which I'm going to have to destroy. So, I've discovered every planet. I technically don't need this unless I want to send people back to another planet, but there's really no point in it. So what I'm going to do is destroy it. Boom, gone. Don't need it anymore. And there's that trick for the colony pods. The other thing is about enemy planets. Unless you have to destroy them, unless your objective is to eliminate all the other races, or they're giving you crap, I wouldn't bother. It is not worth it. The amount of explosives, missiles, energy for the laser, all that stuff is really resource intensive. But not only that, as soon as you start shooting at them, they start shooting back at you. Every time they hit a tile, it turns to volcanic. It destroys whatever's there. You could lose all your farms. You could lose all your trees. I mean, if you're one planet versus one planet and they hit you just the right way, you lose all your wood. And you can't build anything else because you can't get access to any more wood. So be very careful about destroying other animals' planets. It's usually a hassle and not worth it unless it's something you need to do for the scenario. Nocturians, like I said, they're my favorite. I love playing them. They have really good stats. They fit with my playstyle very well. Not everyone's, obviously, and some people want a more difficult or tougher or different style of play. But in my opinion, they're one of the best starter races to really get your feet wet in the game. One other tip I'd like to show you guys are the statuses. Planet statuses are how you bump your high score to the stratosphere. Okay? These are just different achievements, basically, for building or having a certain amount of things on a planet. Technological is an automated foundry, automated press, and automated assembly line, all fully functional with power to run them and everything. And it increases your civilization score by 10,000 points per planet that it's on. You can do this on every planet. Same thing with mining, same thing with scientific, military. You can do this on every single one of your planets. So look at which one of these are most cost effective for your resources to build and get as many of the planet statuses on your planets as possible to bump your score higher. Another thing I'd like to point out is water. You see how I have a ton of water? Get your guys pulling the water off your planets, because then you can use them, you can use the water resources to generate an extra red ball, which is their food, an extra food per person farming. Instead of generating 2, they're going to transform 1 water into 3. We actually really need to build more farms because I'm about to starve all my people to death. I have way too many folks and not enough farms. Okay, so let's see. We touched on the oil. 2 colony bases in a single sitting of a game will allow you to use one of them. It helps for leapfrogging planets. Only send 1 animal in your ship at a time unless you have the extra oil to burn or you need to jump from close planets. Like you got a couple of barren, dead planets close to you and you're trying to extend your range out to that good planet on the edge. It might be worth it to send more than 1 if the cost is low. But don't ever send more than 1 to a fully functioning planet with an atmosphere you can build houses on, because you can just build a house or a shed and then just start generating inhabitants on that new planet. So just send 1 guy, build a house, and start pumping out inhabitants. Go for your sets for the point bonuses, the planet statuses, 50 of this, or 4 mines, or all these different types of things you can get for your planet status bonuses. Go for those. They are very good in jumping your score higher than all your friends. Use water for your crops when you have it available. I don't feel that biogas or fertilizer is really worth it. Yes, they give you more generated food per unit, but they're very hard resources to get your hands on. And you need fertilizer for some of the hydroponics and the bonuses to your... You need fertilizer for the plant nursery. You need fertilizer for the greenhouse, which increases a planet's regeneration, so you can put more people onto your trees harvesting wood, which I will show you. The most useful part of having, let's see, having a greenhouse, having one of these, is the fact that you can put 2 or 3 guys onto each bush or onto each forest, and you can generate more wood, more berries faster without reducing its overall health level to where it slowly destroys itself, where you slowly farm it to death. If you stack more people on top of these, you can do this in the short term for quick resource generation, but if you leave these and go to a new planet, you'll come back and they'll be gone. So be very careful about who you leave harvesting what. And remember, if you need more wood, you need more berries, and you have no other options, build a greenhouse, build a plant nursery. It'll boost your regeneration, and you'll be able to stick an extra inhabitant on those resource nodes. All right. I think that is about it for my first tips and tricks video for this game. If you guys have any tricks of your own or tips, things that you found out while playing this game, please post it in the comments. Also, remember to hit that like button if you liked this video, and hit the dislike button if you didn't. But if you do hit the dislike button, it would be really helpful if you'd leave a comment below and let me know why you didn't like it, and that way I can do better next time. Hit that bell icon to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for your support, everyone. I've been SaintInix. I'll see you in the next one.